Welcome back to the positive side of sports and entertainment. This is really cool. You have a Brandon Webb autographed baseball that you can win. Just go to thepositivesideofsports.com to win it. That's right. The stand not included.
No, stand not included.
Hey, why is it that athletes always want to be rock and roll stars and vice versa?
I don't know, but it seems like every time an entertainer comes into town, you always see the athletes that are playing during the season want to get backstage and get up close and personal. And that's exactly what we did with this young man who just happens to be the pitcher of the Cincinnati Reds. You know, it's no wonder that athletes are talented on the field, and for some as well off the field. And Bronson Arroyo, he's no different. Talented off the field. How did you get into playing the guitar?
You know, I was in AA. I was 23 years old. My whole family's kind of musical. You know, my grandmother's been a music teacher for about 70 years down in Key West, Florida. And I never played any instruments. So I just thought I was like the black sheep of the family, wasn't going to play anything. And one of the clubhouse guys gives me an acoustic guitar in AA in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and I just started, you know, trying to learn songs that I enjoyed on the radio and just having a good time with it.
Give us a little A to Z on where Bronson Arroyo came, how you got into baseball, and then we'll talk a little bit about your music.
I came from Florida. I graduated high school in 1995, was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates in the third round, and I pretty much ran the gamut through their entire minor league system. You know, I went every level. I made one stop every year. I pretty much stayed there the whole season. I was kind of a young guy who was you know, athletic, but weighed 150 pounds at 6'4", and they didn't want to rush me. They thought maybe, you know, they didn't want to hurt me, get me to the big leagues too quick, or, you know, breaking down. So I pretty much took me 4.5 years to make it to the major leagues, and then kind of bounced up and down between AAA and the big leagues there in Pittsburgh for a while. Then I get picked up by the Boston Red Sox, and that's where I kind of blossomed as a major league pitcher. Got a chance to pitch in the playoffs. 03, 04, 05, became, you know, a solid starter in the major leagues, given 200 innings every year, and then I get traded here to Cincinnati in 06, and just, you know, riding my time out here.
What does your CD really resemble?
It's all rock and roll, really. You know, I really enjoyed it. What got me into music, I wasn't really that big into music as a kid. You know, I'd work out in the weight room with my father, and he'd always listen to the oldie stations, you know, the Beatles, the Mamas and the Papas, and I knew all that stuff, but nothing really, like, grabbed a hold of me, you know. And I heard Plush by Stone Temple Pilots when I was about 15. And I just kind of grabbed my ear, and after that I started buying CDs, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots. So my whole record basically is a cover album of my favorite songs growing up. And so I consider myself a rocker, you know, but I like the acoustic guitar. I really enjoy seeing a band like Pearl Jam or Alice in Chains or Nirvana and seeing those guys play acoustically, because it's kind of ripped down, it's quiet, you can hear the voice, there's nothing hiding, you know, what's going on, and you can really see if people can sing and know what they're doing.
All right, I come to you, I'm bringing you a private jet, backstage passes. You've got 3 groups that you're going to be able to go see. You're going to be able to be on stage with them. Who are those 3 groups?
Without question, I love Eddie Vedder, so I'd say Pearl Jam, I'd say Dave Matthews Band, and you know, Led Zeppelin's always kind of talking about getting back together, so I wouldn't mind standing up there with Jimmy Page and Robert Plant.
Wouldn't that be something? By being a baseball player and traveling, you ever get the itch to, like, hey guys, would you mind if I jam with you tonight when you guys are maybe on your first or second night of the road trip?
Talk about other guys on the team?
Yeah, no, like if you go to a pub or something tonight and they're playing,
right?
You ever get the itch of, like, hey guys, you mind I got my guitar?
Oh, and I jump up on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? You know, every now and again, if I know people well, I will.
Sure.
You know, musicians can be very, very funny, and
right.
You don't want to step on people's toes.
Sure.
You know, a lot of times when people are playing their thing, it's their gig, and they, you know, you don't want to impose on them. So if I know somebody or I've known them for years, yeah, we'll get up and maybe sing a couple songs. I do it in Cincinnati every now and again, and but you know, if I'm in a city like here in Phoenix and going to a bar, most of the time I'm not going to ask to get up on stage.
But it'd always be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's always great, and sometimes, you know, I can appreciate music regardless of the type of music. I might not like bluegrass, or I might not like country that much, but I can, now that I've played the guitar and see how hard it is over the years, to see a good musician, regardless of what kind of music they're playing, you really appreciate it.
Well, look at that. Bronson Arroyo, cool music and cool hair to boot. Thanks for the CD. I appreciate it.
Yeah, another